Hey Donna, are you there? I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to move in with you from today. So thanks for letting us into your home. I am just finishing up with packing up our stuff and then I'm going to head over. Wait, what? What are you talking about, Sandra? You're going to come and live with us? I never remember hearing about any of this before. When was this decided? Well, I just really miss my brother, and so that's why I'm going to be moving in with you. I mean, I just can't do anything around the house without him, and it's been so lonely since he moved out. I just really want to be around you all. So that's why I am moving out of my parents' place and going to come and live with you. Sorry, you want to move into our house because you miss your brother? Is that really it? Yeah, that's right. You see, the thing is that Oral has been doing things for me ever since we were little kids. Like, if I told him that I was hungry, he would always cook something for me, and if there was a bug in my room, he would always come and kill it for me. But ever since Oral married you, he's hardly ever come home at all, and I just knew that the only way I could be close to him was by moving out of home. I guess I just really can't live without my big brother. Sarah, I'm really sorry to break this to you, but Oral and I agreed that when we got married, we would want it to be just us, so I don't think that you can just move in with your family. No, that isn't fair. You can't just do that to me. He's still my older brother, and you can't take him away from me. I want him to take care of me, and I always get what I want. Are you okay? Is this normally how you react to things with your brother? Please, you don't understand. I can hardly take care of myself. I don't know how to cook or clean or anything like that, and Mom and Dad are even worse at it than I am. They are always being jerks and telling me that I need to learn how to cook for myself and keep my space clean. But it's not my fault that I used to always be able to go and ask Oral for help when I was little. I mean, my parents don't even cook for me anymore. Do you get that? And I don't know how to cook anything for myself. I need my brother. Okay, I get that. It can be tough to take care of yourself sometimes, but you're an adult, Sandra. I'm sorry, but it doesn't sound at all like your parents are being unreasonable to me. And just because you choose to live with them even after getting married doesn't mean that you can expect them to do everything for you. But it was always my brother who was doing stuff for me. All I ever had to do was just ask him, and whatever it was, he would make sure that it got done for me. Now I just have my mean old parents never doing anything for me. That's why I want to go and live with my brother, got it? I mean, it's just one more person in your house. Surely you can't be that upset about just one more person living with you guys, right? Sandra, I am really sorry, but I've already made myself clear. The fact is that you can't come and live with us, okay? But why not? Seriously, tell me what is so bad about just one more person coming to live with you? Are you really so selfish that you can't even abide by that? The only reason I want to move in with you guys in the first place is just so that my older brother can take care of me. I promise that I won't get in your way at all. I'm sorry, but I've already given you my answer and it is final. Look, the truth is that I'm pregnant right now. So I just don't think we could really handle having someone else in the house with all that's already going on. Wait, you're pregnant? Since when? I had no idea about that. You mean that I'm going to be an aunt? That is so exciting! Well, we just found out. I wanted to make the announcement after some more time had passed so that I could be sure the pregnancy would keep. But anyways, things are already tough enough for us, and we have a lot of preparation we need to do before the baby arrives. So again, I'm really sorry, but you just won't be able to live with us, and that's that. Oh, come on, don't be like that. This works out even better, don't you get it? I mean, if you're pregnant and struggling, then that is all the more reason for me to go and live with you guys. And just how do you figure that, huh? Well, Oral is probably at work all of the time, right? So that probably means that you need an extra hand around the house to help you out during the day, yeah? I also don't have a job or anything like that, so I could just help you with whatever you needed. Wait a second, you don't have a job? What happened? Last I heard you did have one. Did you quit? Well, after Oral moved out, I didn't have anyone to complain to all about my work. No matter who I tried to talk to, nobody was interested in hearing it. I tried really hard to keep working, but there was nobody to listen to me complain, so the stress just kept building and building until I couldn't take it anymore. And in the end, I had had enough, and I decided to quit my job. So you really just quit your job because you didn't have anyone to complain to about it? Please tell me that's some kind of a joke. Nope, it's the truth. But on the plus side, it means that I can stay at home all day and help you out. I mean, I'm sure there are days when you don't feel good while you're pregnant, right? Well, you can just think of me as your live-in nurse, huh? And then I can help take care of you and my little niece or nephew when they're born.
Donna, are you there? I just heard the news from my sister about how she wants to come and live with us. I know that she was really missing having me at home, but I didn't think that she would go and do something like this.
I mean, I know that you told me about how much she likes you and how close you were when you were kids, but this is just taking it too far. You must have been really, really sweet to her when she was little, Oral. But now that you did that, she just runs wild, doing whatever she wants.
Yeah, I guess so. I was just trying to be a good older brother to her, but I guess it ended up backfiring. Now she's just a spoiled little girl who doesn't want to learn how to take care of herself. Then again, maybe that's something that hasn't changed all that much.
What do you mean by that, Oral?
I mean that I think that Sandra has honestly been a pretty selfish person ever since she was little. Whenever things didn't go her way, she would always burst into tears. She wouldn't stop crying until she got what she wanted. But my parents were also so stubborn about not giving in that every day was just such a mess in the house. Honestly, I probably did things for Sandra just because I wanted everyone in the house to stop fighting.
I see. I had no idea that things were that bad in the house when you were growing up, Oral. It must have been tough trying to play the peacemaker like you did at such a young age. Sandra told me about how you would cook for her when she was hungry and kill bugs for her when they were in her room. It sounds like you did so much just to keep things running smoothly in the house.
I know, but it wasn't just for my family, you know? It was just as much for my own sake, so I didn't go crazy. But there were other motives as well. You know how I got hired as head chef at that restaurant recently? Well, I used Sandra to test out a bunch of recipes that I was working on. And I killed the bugs in her room because I didn't want them showing up in mine later on. That's why I even kept her room clean for her.
I see. Well, I guess that all makes sense. But still, it can't have been easy on you.
It wasn't, but it is true that I did whatever my sister asked of me. Although, if I'm being honest, it always shocked me at how selfish she was. And I think over time I grew to really resent that she never really realized just how much I was doing for her. I thought that when you and I got married that I was finally going to be free of her.
Well, if it's any consolation, I tried to tell her that we just wouldn't be able to take her in and let her live with us. I told her about the pregnancy and everything, but she just wouldn't listen to me.
Well, I think that if she sees what it's like to live with us, then she'll go running back to Mom and Dad. I'll even call them and tell them that this won't last long, and to keep her room as is.
Well, okay, if you're sure about this. I guess having her here for a few days wouldn't be the worst thing. Donna, what is the matter with you? Are you seriously going back to your parents' house? What for? I don't understand it. If you're going to be over there, then how am I supposed to see what my little niece or nephew is going to look like when they're born? I want to be there when all of that happens. Well, I don't want any of that, and that's why I'm going back to stay with my parents for the time being. I was never going to do this originally, but I just can't stand being around you anymore. So you're saying that this is all my fault? Don't be ridiculous. Just what is wrong with me wanting to be a good aunt and be there for you, my sister-in-law, on the day that you give birth? Because that's just it. You're my sister-in-law and nothing else. This is going to be a big emotional day for me, and I would rather be with my parents than around you for it. You know that Oral and I told you that you would only be allowed to stay with us for a week, right? Well, it's been 2 months, and you're still in our house just being a freeloader. I have been so stressed out during that time that I just don't think I'll even be able to have this baby with you around. But I'm not even doing anything. How can you be so cruel to me for just wanting to be there for you? It's not like I'm partying all night or blasting loud music or anything. I have to get up several times in the middle of the night, and I hardly feel like I get any sleep at all. But at all hours of the night, I can hear you walking around the house and making all kind of racket, even if it's not loud music. I can hear the noise from whatever video games it is that you're playing coming from your room at almost all hours of the day. Even during the daytime, I can hardly ever get a moment to rest. If your hearing is really that sensitive, then maybe you should just walk around the house with earplugs. You're really telling me that I should have to walk around my own home with earplugs so that you can play your games? You're the guest here. You should be mindful of your host's needs after being here for so long. I mean, all you do is play games and eat. You never do anything to help out around the house at all. All of that sounds like your problem if you ask me. Besides, all you do is lie around the house too. You really think that just because you're pregnant, you can be resting all day like that? That really can't be good for the baby, you know. That's why I leave all the work for you to do, so it'll motivate you to move around more. Are you kidding me? Do you think this is some sort of game or something? Of course not. I'm just trying to get the mother of my niece or nephew off of her butt and moving around. Before I came here, you were probably just making my brother do all of your work for you, weren't you? You keep trying to act like I'm the selfish one, but you're the one who needs to keep relying on others for help. All I'm doing is keeping you on your feet and making sure that you don't fall out of practice when it comes to being a good housewife. Oh, you have got to be kidding me with that, right? You really think I'm going to buy any of that? If you think you're stressed, then I'm really, really stressed. And instead of dealing with the problem, you're just running away to your parents' house so that you don't have to clean the house. Well, if you're leaving, then I guess that means I'll just be taking my brother back then. I've already canceled the lease on your place, and I'll be taking my brother and moving back home with him. Wait, what? What do you mean you canceled the lease on our place? You can't be mad at me. Even Oral said that he was fine with this. He said that you weren't good enough to be his wife and that he doesn't want to be married to you anymore. He told me that he was just using you to have a kid and that's it. But now that you're about to have the kid, that means it's time to get rid of this house and for Oral and I to live together forever. And do you really expect me to believe that Oral just went along and agreed to all of this? Of course he did. I told you that my brother would do anything for me, didn't I? Well, here's just another example. You must have just had no idea that he was so stressed out living with you, huh? But he was happy to hear that you were finally going to leave us alone. I don't believe you. I don't think that Oral would ever do something like that. Well, he did, and now I'm taking this chance to take my brother back from you. You were so spoiled that you couldn't see that you were driving everyone away from you this whole time. Right. Well, good luck with that. Have a nice life, Sandra. That's what I meant to say to you, loser. You don't even have a home to go back to, and the moment that you have your kid, you are going to be getting divorce papers in the mail from Oral. So just go ahead and sign them and let him and I live in peace already, okay? We don't want you in our lives anymore. No, I'm afraid that it's you who is going to be living alone, Sandra. Or at the very least with your parents. What are you talking about? You have no idea what you're saying. I've won. I'm going to get Oral, not you. Why are you even mentioning my parents in this conversation? I guess you'll find out what I'm talking about soon enough. Good luck with everything. Hey, just what the heck is going on here, huh? Why am I getting taken here? Do you seriously expect me to live here from here on out? You mean you've already arrived? Wow, that was really fast. I guess that Oral must have gotten off work early just to get rid of you then. What are you talking about? Oral told me that he was going to take us to our new home. He said it'd be for him and I. I packed up my bags, threw them in the car, and we drove off. And now I see that he's just taken me to the lodge that our relatives run out in the boonies. He even told me I was going to be living and working here. Aw, did he say that? Well, I guess it sounds to me like you've been tricked. We tried to ask you to leave our house over and over again, but you just wouldn't listen. You have no one to blame but yourself for this. What are you talking about? I still have no idea what's really going on here. You better explain to me what is going on right now. Am I seriously supposed to work here? Oral told me that as soon as I stepped out of the car, and by the time I turned around to ask him what he meant, he had already driven off. You need to tell me what is going on right now. Okay, just calm down, Sandra. It really is quite simple. The fact is that Oral and I are both sick of having you live with us. So we came up with a plan that we were sure would trick you into leaving our home. Wait, so Oral lied to me? That's right. We tried to get you to move out over and over again, but nothing seemed to work. And because you weren't doing anything to help around the house at all, we knew that we had to do something. I was just getting so stressed out and was really starting to reach my limit with you. So Oral told me to go to my parents' house while he took care of you. But wait, I thought that Oral and I were the ones that had chased you out of the house. Oral and I were supposed to finally live together again. You really thought that was going to happen? But Oral always does what I say, and he knows that he can never say no to me. I always get my way. How could he trick me like this? It isn't fair. I hate this. Well, I'm afraid that your brother has been fed up with your antics for some time now. What do you mean? My brother loves doing things for me. That's why I always gave him a bunch to do. Well, if that were the case, then why did your brother lie to you and drive you out to that lodge then? It sounds to me like you got tricked and you just haven't faced up to reality yet. No, this can't be happening to me. My brother wouldn't do this to me. He wanted to live with me too. He's always taken care of me, and I was sure that that was what was going on now. You still just don't get it, do you? All your selfish actions over the years just drove him to hate you. Ever since he was little, you've been making him run around and do everything for you just so that you wouldn't throw a tantrum. And even when you grew up, you still just never learned to take care of yourself or be grateful to those doing things for you. You took advantage of your brother's kindness and never once thanked him for it. No, this can't be happening. I know that my brother loves me. You think you were getting your brother to love you more by constantly making him do everything for you? You think he enjoyed doing all the cooking and bug killing and room cleaning for you because you were too much of a spoiled brat to do it yourself? I never thought about it like that at all. It's clear to me that you probably never thought about anyone but yourself this entire time. You've been nothing but a burden on your whole family because you think the world owes you everything. All while you do nothing at all to pay back or show gratitude to those around you. But I just wanted to live with my older brother. This isn't fair. You both can't do this to me. I didn't do anything to deserve this. If you really feel that way, then I think working at that lodge your relatives own is going to be a good experience for you. Maybe you'll finally learn what it means to earn your own way through this world and what it's like to do things for others for once. This isn't a good thing. I don't want to learn any of that. I just wanted my brother to do everything for me. Besides, my aunt who runs this place is really strict. She'll work me to the bone. I seriously doubt that. It sounds to me like you're just scared to do a decent day's work is all. So you're really just going to leave me here? What am I supposed to do? How do I leave? I don't want to do this. If you don't want to do this, you can always just walk home, but you'll still have to figure out where you'll go after that. Neither your parents, nor Oral, or I want you living with us. But you can't do this to me, please! I didn't want things to go this way. They were supposed to go my way like they always have. You can't do this to me! A few months later, Sandra's parents actually went up to the lodge for a vacation and to catch up with their relatives up there. Sandra was sure that they had come to take her back, and she greeted them with her packed bags. But her parents told her that they had just come to see if she had done any growing up at all in the time since she began her new job. They quickly learned that Sandra was not adjusting well and ended their stay early to go home without her. They even sold their house and moved out to the country so that not even Sandra could find them. Hey there, Bea. I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be the wife of a CEO and not you. Got it? You think you're really good enough to marry Marcus? Well, you're dead wrong. I'm the only one who's good enough for him. And now that I've stolen him from you, I'll never worry about working another day in my life. Rachel, what on earth are you talking about? What is this about you stealing Marcus away from me? If this is your idea of a joke, I really don't find it funny at all, and I'd ask that you not send me this kind of stuff. Oh, it's not a joke at all, I'm afraid, but I still think it's hilarious. I'm being totally honest, however, when I say that I've stolen Marcus from you and made him mine. No, you're just a lonely girl that nobody wants, and I'm going to be the wife of a CEO. It's like a dream come true. You mean that you're really serious about all this? That's right. What can I say? I guess that Marcus just likes me more than he likes you. We spent the whole day and night together, you know. He told me that I was the girl of his dreams and that he always wanted to marry me. He told me that while he was looking into my eyes from across the table, he got us at the most expensive restaurant in town. Then he got down on one knee and proposed to me. Now that you mention it, I wasn't able to get in touch with Marcus at all yesterday. I was wondering what was going on. But you're telling me that I couldn't reach him because you two were together all day yesterday? How many times are you going to make me type out the same thing, Bea? Haven't I already made it clear to you that I've made Marcus all mine? You thought that you were going to marry him and become the wife of a CEO, but I stole him right from under you, and now I'm going to marry him instead. How does it feel to have your fiancé stolen from a fellow classmate, huh? But you don't understand. How could you do this to me, Rachel? I thought that you and I were friends. We've been so close ever since high school. I thought that I could trust you. But instead, you turned around and stole your own friend's fiancé? You're horrible, you know that? Well, this may come as news to you, but I never once considered us to be friends at all. I've actually hated you ever since the day that we met. But I could never understand how some poor ugly girl like you was chosen over me by all the boys in school. I swore to myself then that if you were ever going to get married before me, I would steal away your man before you could. You mean that this has been a plan of yours since you and I were in high school? That's crazy. You don't understand. I mean, you do know that the high school that we went to was famous for having the children of celebrities and actors and stuff go there, don't you? It wasn't a school for poor little kids like you. I don't even know how you got into the school in the first place. It was probably some charity for sad, poor people with no other means to get an education that paid for you to get in. Just because we went to the same school doesn't mean that you and I are on the same level at all. Got it? I hate when people forget their place and try to be in places where they don't belong. But I was never doing anything like that at all to begin with. And you have no idea how hard I was working in that school. I only got in because of my good grades, and I would have never been able to afford to go without the scholarship I got. But I always thought that you were the nicest person to me there. You were my best friend. And you hated me this whole time? But that's just it. You did work hard, and you were even valedictorian for our class. But before you showed up, I was the smartest kid in school. Both my parents were rich and loved me so much. All the teachers could trust me, and I was a favorite across the whole school. But all of that changed when you showed up. Just because you were the new girl who got slightly better grades than me, everyone started treating you like you were the star of the whole show. You totally eclipsed me. Well, are you really trying to blame me for how other people reacted towards me? I never asked them to treat me like that. I don't want to hear it from you. Don't tell me that a poor little nobody like you wasn't loving all of that attention. And all because you were good at studying. It isn't fair. You ruined high school for me. Do you know that? I certainly do now, and at least now I feel like I understand a bit more about why you always hated me like this. But I still don't understand why that drove you to steal my fiancé from me. I mean, we graduated from high school more than 10 years ago. Are you really still upset from then? Of course I am. You think that I ever got over a poor person like you trying to get above their post in life? And just what is that supposed to mean? I mean that no matter how hard you tried after high school, I know that you were never able to amount to anything. And no matter how smart you are now, you're still just a poor nobody. Just like your stupid, poor, ugly parents. You thought that marrying a CEO would be your ticket out of that life? Well, not if I had something to say about it. I wasn't about to let you jump ahead in life like that. It wouldn't have been fair. That's why I had to put you back in your place. And so that's the real reason why you stole Marcus from me? What are you, some kind of 1800 oil baron or something? I don't think I've ever seen classism this bold-faced in my entire life. Do you think we live in a caste system or something? What is the matter with you? It really is so easy to get poor people upset when you remind them of who they really are deep down. You really thought that you could just marry into the lap of luxury? Sorry, but that was never an option for a poor little nobody like you. It's obvious that I'm a much better person to marry Marcus given my pedigree. Your pedigree? What do you think this is, a dog show or something? Say whatever you want. It doesn't change the fact that Marcus is all mine and there's nothing that you can do about it at all. You're just mad because I took away your own shot at not being poor. Hey, Marcus, are you there? Because you and I need to have a little chat. For starters, have you been seeing Rachel behind my back? I know that your parents said hi to her parents at our wedding, but I just had no idea that you would ever do something like this to me.
Wait, hold on a second. How did you find out about Rachel and I? Aw, man. I thought that we had done everything to make sure that nobody was ever going to figure out about the two of us.
If you really must know, it was Rachel herself that reached out just to brag to me about how you and her are seeing each other. She even told me about how you proposed to her in a restaurant. So I would just love to hear what you have to say about all of this and just what you have to say for yourself.
Oh, what? Are you kidding me? You mean that Rachel told you all about us? What was she thinking? How could she do that to me? Man, that girl can be a real firecracker sometimes. But yeah, it's true. Everything that Rachel said to you, even the part about us getting married. But you couldn't really expect this to last too long between us, right? I mean, you know that basically my whole family was against the two of us getting married.
Wait, what? What is that supposed to mean? Do you really mean that? Your family never ever wanted you and I to get married?
Of course they were opposed to you and I getting married. Open your eyes! You really think that you were ever good enough to stay married to me? You were just a poor little nobody who I took pity on. But you know that there was no way I was going to let our families merge into one, right?
Are you kidding me? You did not seriously just say that. I can't believe you, Marcus.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. It isn't like your mom or dad is a businessman or a politician or anyone, really. They're just middle-of-the-road regular worker drones. Nobody's, really. Besides, didn't your dad get sick and have to quit his job anyways? Isn't your mom having to cut back on her hours just to take care of him? And you're doing all the heavy lifting for your family, and you're not anyone either.
Don't you talk about my parents like that, Marcus, and just because my dad is sick doesn't mean that you can put him down for it. Besides, it's thanks to their hard work that I was able to afford to go to college. I owe so much to them, and nothing is ever going to take that away.
Don't get me wrong, I really do respect you as a person, Bea. You got into one of the top schools in the country, and I think that's really something. But we just come from two different worlds. Besides, my whole future depends on me taking over the family company, so I really can't go against what my family wants, or else I'm down for.
Well, then why were we even together in the first place? If this is really how you felt about things, we should have never been dating in the first place. I never asked you to go and cheat on my classmate.
You really are starting to get annoying. Do you know that? I'm telling you why I made my decision. You can like it or not, but don't go trying to make this personal or anything. It's just business.
Business? Are you seriously calling this business? You think that I'm going to buy that, you jerk?
Look, the thing is, I actually really like smart girls like you, okay? But there are things about you that I just can't stand by either. For one, you're a little too smart, maybe even smarter than me, and that's a huge turnoff. I do like smart girls, but being with you made me realize it's better to be with an airhead like Rachel instead. It's just way easier to get her to do what I want than it was with you.
Please tell me that that is not how you actually feel about dating women. That is just disgusting. Rachel is like some kind of avatar of classism, and you're just a horrible sexist. Maybe you two do deserve each other.
It's not sexist, it's just knowing what my preferences are, okay? If you really want to know, the last straw for you was when I had to make that presentation for work. I was struggling with it for so long that I finally asked you to take a look, and you basically did it for me all in the span of 20 minutes. I felt completely humiliated. So between my parents not wanting me to marry you and you being too smart for your own good, this is what's for the best. Not to mention that honestly, Rachel is way prettier than you are anyways, so I don't think you could really blame me for wanting to get with her.
So basically, I just have nothing to offer you at all, is what you're saying then.
I mean, in a word, yeah, pretty much. Who ever heard of a man marrying a woman smarter than them? You'd have to be a real moron to do that. Anyways, just accept that this has happened and move on with your life, okay?
Hey, Maybe. I was just curious if you got the invitation to our wedding. I know that you know how much I hate you, but we still have to keep up appearances, you know. I invited everyone from high school, so I had to invite you too, or else people would start to ask questions. You know, you haven't said one word to hint at all that you're sorry for what you did to me. Not only that, but you have the gall to invite me to your wedding? Come on, don't be such a sourpuss. Consider this a way to put this all behind us, okay? I invited you to the wedding for your own sake. My own sake? Just how do you figure that? Oh, come on. Clearly you're still upset about the breakup, and you must still be getting over your feelings for Marcus. So you can come to the wedding, see Marcus and I kiss and get married, and then maybe that'll shock you out of this mood. Are you kidding me? Is that why you want me to show up to your wedding? Well, I also think that you'd really enjoy it. It's going to be a huge venue and cost a ton of money. There are going to be all kinds of industrialists and famous people, and I mean, well, you're so poor that this is probably going to be your one chance to see something like this. Although I understand that you might just grow to hate yourself surrounded by so much success, too. You have seriously got some nerve inviting me to your wedding just so that you can keep trying to rub your wealth in my face. Do you know that? Well, if it helps sweeten the deal, we're having the wedding catered by a Michelin-starred chef, and the decorations are going to be to die for. Not only that, but I'm having a really famous fashion designer come out of retirement just to put my wedding dress together. It sounds like it's going to be quite the event. Are you sure someone like me can go? Well, at first I was going to have something a little more low-key, but then I thought about it and realized that I'm about to marry a future CEO, and there's no point in being modest. So I decided it would be better to go all out instead, and Marcus's parents seemed to be happy with my place, so it's all good. Well, I'm really happy that you and his parents are getting along so well. I guess they must feel more at ease talking to you than they were talking to poor old me. Exactly. In fact, they like me so much that Marcus's dad agreed to pay for the whole thing. It's going to cost at least $1 million. You're going to spend $1 million on your wedding? That's insane. Are you sure that's really such a good idea? No duh, it's a good idea. It's a great idea, in fact. Why would you even ask something like that? Or is it just that your poor brain can't even calculate how someone could spend that much and still have more money? Yeah, it must be something like that, Rachel. Well, that's okay. I can't expect you to begin to even visualize what $1 million looks like. Yeah, I wonder if your father-in-law will be able to soon, given that he's been arrested. Sorry, what do you mean by that? Haven't you heard the news? You might want to look up his name on Google right now. He's been showing up in headlines ever since last night for what he did, so I might be a bit worried for what that would mean for your wedding. Wait, hold on. Marcus's dad has been arrested? Sounds like you have a lot to think about. Maybe I'll just leave you alone for now. But if you really want to know, I don't want to go to your wedding at all. But you did such a good job selling it to me that I think I'll show up anyways. Wait, no, hold on. You can't just drop a bombshell on me like that and then just try and walk away. What are you talking about with Marcus's dad? What happened? You have to tell me. I told you, you can just look it up online. There are plenty of stories about it online. Just look up his name and investment fraud. Wait, you mean that he's been arrested for fraud? He defrauded his own investors? Yeah, he took a bunch of people's money and wasted it on a scheme that he knew was going to fail. Then he tried to launder the money to other sources, and that's when he got caught. I guess someone must have leaked some evidence of what was going on. No, this can't be happening. I had no idea about any sort of scam. This can't be right. Well, you might want to go ahead and tell the news stations that they got it wrong because you never heard of any of this. Anyway, what was that chef going to cook for the wedding again? This isn't the time to be talking about that. Now, I don't even know if I'll have a wedding at this point. But I already sent out the invitations. I was so looking forward to it. This can't be happening to me. Well, I suppose you might just have to tell people that there's been a change of plans and cancel it for now. B, it's just awful. We had to cancel my wedding. Can you believe it? This wasn't supposed to happen. What is going on? So you did end up canceling it after all. Aw, darn. And I was just starting to get excited to go. But don't worry, I'm sure you'll be able to plan a new one when things settle down. Then you can have your fancy chef and decorations and everything. What are you talking about? There's no way that we're ever going to be able to have the wedding again because the engagement is off. We're not even married and we're already divorced. Wait, what? He's not going to marry you anymore? No, I broke up with him. I could never let my family be associated with his criminal father. Just think of the damage it would do to my family's reputation. I can't possibly let my good bloodline be tainted with his bile, so I told him to hit the road. But now Marcus is refusing to sign the paperwork so that we can call it all off. I see. Yeah, I guess I would be pretty mad too if someone just tried to run off like you're doing. But you need to help me. You have to convince Marcus to formally call off the engagement with me. Sorry, you want me to help you? Are you serious? That's right. He said that he's not going to let me get out of this so easily. And if he doesn't sign the paperwork, then we're not going to be able to officially call off our engagement. You have to think of something and help me out here. You can't be serious, right? You're really asking for my help? Please, maybe you can try and charm him back to liking you. You know all his weak spots and what he likes. I'm sure that if anyone could help me out here, it's you. Plus, you get your fiancé back. It's a win-win. I don't want anything to do with him or you or either of your families ever again. You'll just have to find someone else to do your dirty work for you, but not me. Why don't you go and ask one of your rich friends to do it for you, huh? You don't think I've already thought of that? I called them all and asked for their help, but no one said they would. Some of them had even changed their number, and I can't get a hold of them. Well, then it sounds to me like they just plain don't want to help you. But I have no problem getting a hold of anyone from our school days. Maybe they just saw the news about your father-in-law and didn't want to be associated with you. You're kidding me. You mean you think that all our old friends are just avoiding me? But they're not afraid to stay in contact with some poor little nobody like you. I guess maybe they just don't care as much about how much money I have. You're the only one who seems to treat anyone as poorly as you do just because of their status. Anyways, good luck with your marriage troubles.
Bea, are you there? Please, you have to help me. You have to save me from Rachel. She's crazy, and you're the only one that I can go for help.
What on earth are you talking about, Marcus? I know that your dad is in hot water, but it's times like these that should push you closer to your wife. Go to her for help, not me, okay?
But I don't want anything to do with that moron. She is seriously so dumb and is only interested in trying to run away from me. Even though I'm trying so hard to protect all the family has worked for, she can only think for herself.
There you go again, just calling her an idiot again, huh? But I thought you liked your girls dumb.
Yeah, but not this dumb. I had no idea you could even get this dumb. But I've had my hands so full trying to save the family's business that I barely have time to deal with her anymore. I don't know what's going to break first, my company or my mental state.
Yeah, I've been following the news. It seems like you and your family are going to be in quite a bit of trouble.
But that's why I need your help. But please, I know that you're smarter than me. Maybe if you took a look at some of the papers I have, you could figure out a way to save my company from all this. But please, I need you.
Yeah, that is going to be a no from me. You cheat on me, ruin our engagement, call me too smart, and say that I'm uglier than Rachel, and you think I want to help you? Don't even get me started on what you said about my family, too. This is not my problem, and I refuse to let you or Rachel suck me into this. After that, I heard on the news that Marcus's family company finally declared bankruptcy and that Marcus was attempting to build something from the ashes. But the attempt didn't go so well, and like before, it was swimming in debt before declaring bankruptcy again. Rachel ran to her parents to try and beg for help, but they had both thought that they'd finally gotten rid of her and told her that she was Marcus's problem now. With his dad in jail and 2 bankruptcies, Marcus and Rachel agreed to move in together until they could work something better out for the two of them. They still aren't married, but they realize that they both have no one to turn to except for each other. Congrats on your engagement, Amy. I heard you officially got engaged today. Hope you live a wonderful life with my brother. Huh? I don't need someone who failed their first marriage to tell me to live happily. I don't need someone like you to tell me what to do. How about you focus on your happiness instead? You failed your first marriage and now you're all alone. If you don't hurry up and find someone, you're going to live a sad life when you're older. Yeah, you're right. I should hurry and find my happiness too. Anyway, moving back to the subject at hand, I want to send you guys a gift to congratulate you two. Do you have any home appliances or something that you've been wanting? I don't need anything from you. Receiving a gift from someone who got divorced is just not something I need. I couldn't stand having something that someone like that would send to my house, so don't bother sending anything to us. Also, don't force yourself to get along with me. Amy, did I do something to make you mad? You're being a bit colder than usual. It's not that I don't like you specifically. I just don't like people who have gotten divorced. I don't want people like that around me. But why? We just got engaged today and we're so happy about it. Our future together is looking bright and I'm super happy about this, which is the complete opposite energy that you have. Your future is dark and you spend your days alone and sad. It feels like all that bad energy is going to spread over to me. That's not true. Just because I've gotten a divorce doesn't mean that I'm living a sad life. I'm quite happy. You thinking that it's all bad vibes is rather rude of you. But those who have gotten a divorce usually have friends who are just like them. I think that's pretty much a good reason why I shouldn't be around you. If you want us, especially your brother, to be happy, then you'll get the message and leave us be. I mean, but we're family now. It sucks that I won't be able to get along with you. I'm not happy about it either. I wanted for us to be able to go out for lunch and happily hang out with each other, and you could have given me some marriage advice. Because you're a divorced woman, you're practically useless. Did you just call me useless? I don't need someone who had a failed marriage to teach me anything. I would appreciate it if you could leave me alone as best as you can. I don't need your bad vibes to ruin my marriage. Oh, really? Well, if that's how you feel, then I'll do as you ask and leave you alone. I won't send any gifts and avoid interaction with you as much as possible. I hope your happy married life lasts.
Hey, Miley. How are you doing?
I'm doing horrible, thanks to you. I didn't think that I would get a text from my ex-husband now, of all times.
What happened? What's with the attitude?
Because of you, my brother's wife completely hates me. Just when I thought that I would finally get a cute little sister, she completely blew me off, saying that she didn't want to be around a woman who had a failed marriage. Why do I have to go through something like this just because you and I got divorced?
Wow, that's pretty harsh. A bit funny, not gonna lie, but still harsh.
I would tell my brother about this, but I don't want to cause any problems for the newly wedded couple. You cheat on me and we get a divorce. My sister-in-law hates me and this year sucks. I should start looking up ways to get rid of this whole bad luck thing I've got going on.
Oh, poor you. I'm doing completely fine on the other hand. I met my soulmate.
You're what?
Yup, that's right. I've met my soulmate. The first time we met, it was like an electrical current ran through me. I'm going to marry that girl.
Hang on. What do you mean you met your soulmate? What happened to the woman you were seeing when we were married? I thought she was the one for you.
Well, turns out she wasn't the one.
Wasn't it?
I was very serious about pursuing a relationship with her. All she wanted was to have fun. Because of her, I had to deal with the alimony from our divorce, and yet she cut all contact with me.
Oh, wow. Poor you. You said you were going to marry that girl and handed me quite a large sum of money.
Yeah, but soon after that, I found my real soulmate on this dating app. The moment I saw her, it was like a Cupid shot me in the heart. What's even better is that she said that she wants to pursue a relationship with me in the hopes of getting married.
Congrats to you. Is that what you wanted to hear? I mean, why else would you announce this to your ex-wife? Or are you perhaps so bored that you figured you'd pass the time bugging me?
No, you've got it all wrong. I didn't text you to brag. I texted you because I wanted to ask for some advice.
Some advice?
The thing is, I had to end things with my soulmate because she said something about her parents who had already found her a suitor. So we had to end things, sadly.
How unfortunate of you guys.
Well, she tried her best to convince her parents, but it didn't work out. Turns out she's gonna have a wedding soon with that other guy.
Wow, you met your soulmate and you won't get your happily ever after. Sucks to be you.
No, I won't let this happen. I want to be happily ever after. She likely has not forgotten about me yet. I'm sure she's waiting for me to stop the wedding.
Wait, what do you mean that you're planning on crashing the wedding?
That's right. I think that this is the only way that this will work. I've been trying to plan on how I'm going to do this, so I decided to ask you which of these options would make her the happiest. Should I just go casually, or should I go in a tux?
What a pathetic question to be asking. Ask these questions to a different girl and not your ex-wife.
Well, I don't have any other female friends I could ask. I don't know if it's because of the divorce, but all my female friends distanced themselves from me.
Well, of course they did. You cheated on your wife. That makes you an enemy.
Which is why you're my only hope here. I'll send you the details about our wedding to you later, and once I get them. So please, help me out here.
Hey, Miley, it's been a while. Do you have time right now? I have a favor to ask. How rare for you to request something from me. It's a very simple request. You received the wedding invitation, yes? I want you to reply to the invitation stating that you're not attending. Why would I do that? Because I don't want you to be there, obviously. I didn't even want to send you the invitation in the first place. I obviously couldn't say that to Kent, so here I am contacting you directly about it. I'm guessing the reasoning behind this is because of my failed marriage. My bad vibes are going to ruin it. Yep, exactly that. Weddings are supposed to be full of joy and purity. If a person with a horrible aura like yours is there, then everything would be pointless. Horrible aura? That's the step up from bad vibes? Why do I have to endure this name calling for the simple fact that I got a divorce? I mean, but I'm not wrong about this. You were happily married and then your husband cheated on you. You get a divorce and now you're living a lonely life by yourself. I'm sure you're the type to curse any happy couples you see walking around. You have a horrible aura. I don't do things like that. Goodness, you're a helpless one. Here I am keeping my promise of leaving you alone, and yet here I am getting told that I'm not allowed to my own little brother's wedding? It's your fault for being a divorced wife with rancid vibes. Make sure you select not attending on the invitation. I already ripped up and threw away the invitation. Wait, why would you do that? I went out of my way to send you that invitation and you threw it away? Is it that you're upset about our marriage? You don't want to see us happy at the wedding, so you ripped up the invitation and threw it away? Huh? How rude of you to do such a thing. Bitter divorced women are a different level of scary. The scary one is you. To think that you were two-timing this whole time, I couldn't even imagine you to be that type of person, which makes it scarier. What? Me? You're accusing me of being a two-timer? The reason I ripped up the invitation is that I got a message saying that the wedding was canceled. My brother texted me a few minutes ago that he canceled the wedding so I could throw away that wedding invitation. So I decided to do exactly that. Huh? What do you mean the wedding is canceled? Why would he cancel the wedding? Your two-timing was brought to light, and that the person who you were seeing was going to crash your wedding. That would be reason enough to make sure that the wedding would be canceled. It's the most logical reaction. Hang on! There's no way that I would be a two-timer. I've been with your brother and your brother only. We just got married and have been happy since. There's no way I'd do something like that to ruin his happiness. Too bad for you, but I've been informed from the man you've been cheating on with. You can make up as many excuses and lies as you want. It won't change the fact that we know the truth. The man I've been cheating on with? To think that you were cheating on my brother with my ex-husband. He had no idea what was going on and was just talking for hours on end about everything. What? Hang on, wait. What do you mean he's your ex-husband? It's such a weird coincidence, right? The man who wants to get married again after divorcing me wants to marry my brother's wife. What a mess. Sounds like you guys have been together for about 6 months now? Not to mention you were planning on marrying him as well. Well, the thing is, you ended up picking my brother instead and lied to my ex-husband, saying that your parents had already found you a suitor and wouldn't accept your guys' relationship, so you ended things with him. Am I getting this right? No way. Why do you know about that as well? Well, that's because he told me everything. It seemed like he couldn't accept the relationship ending this way. So much so that he tried to resolve things his way. He didn't want to accept that you would get married to someone else who wasn't him. He was convinced that you were waiting for him to rescue you, so he made the plan to crash your wedding. Crash the wedding? He was planning out how to completely stop the wedding, going as far as to ask me for help. Which is how I found out and told everything to my brother. Of course, with proper evidence of your infidelity, which is why we're here now, with the wedding being canceled. You're kidding, right? How did this all happen? I thought I managed to get rid of him perfectly. And what was he thinking, assuming that I would be waiting for him to rescue me? I'm the one here who should be questioning things. I didn't think you were the type to cheat. A really big shock once the truth came out. Of course, I love your brother so much. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. He was just taking too long to propose to me, so I got bitter and impatient and decided to see another man for a while. Oh, so you finally tell the truth. Then your brother finally proposed to me, so I lied about my parents and broke up with your ex-husband. I thought that I would finally get the marriage life that I dreamed of. So how did everything turn upside down in an instant? Well, if you guys end up getting a divorce, then you'll be a divorced woman just like me. Welcome to the club of rancid vibes, horrible auras, and just overall bad vibes. I don't want that! Make sure you guys talk out about what's going to happen now, okay?
Okay, hear me out, Miley. That woman was lying to me. She didn't have a suitor already. She just had a different man that she wanted to marry and cast me aside. She got all mad at me for ruining her life.
Oh no, your soulmate did all that to you? Poor you.
She wasn't my soulmate. This entire thing opened my eyes. Miley, let's get back together. We still have a chance, right?
What? You did not just say what I think you just said.
I didn't know that the woman I thought was my soulmate was your brother's wife. But in the end, it all leads back to you. You're my soulmate. You and I are tied by the red strings of fate.
Please stop with your idiotic rambling. I'm already with someone else I am planning to marry. Besides, you and I getting back together will never happen. Find someone else to marry.
You're with somebody else? What are you talking about? Don't tell me you're planning on getting remarried with a man other than me. I'm here for you, and yet you have a boyfriend?
Are you saying that after you decided to get with Amy after our divorce? It shouldn't matter if I'm with somebody else if you do the same.
It's only been barely a year since we parted. Are you getting married that quickly?
After getting divorced once, it just feels easier to get through some stages of a relationship faster. I think it's the feeling of not being afraid to lose anything. I'll just go for it, and if it goes bad, then I'll just end the relationship.
But, so you're not gonna give us another shot?
Of course not. Just because things got easier for me doesn't mean that I would go for a man who I know isn't faithful. Anyway, take care of yourself. I'll be sure to show you that I'm living life happily. What do I do, Miley? Your brother and I got divorced. He told me with such a scary look on his face to sign the papers and didn't even let me defend myself. He just left without a word. He wouldn't forgive me no matter how many times I apologized. We're now the same. Congrats. You're now a bitter woman with bad vibes like me. I didn't think that I'd ever have to go through this. Oh, but wait. I guess you and I changed roles now since I'm getting married soon. Well, good luck on being seen as bitter. Wait, you're getting remarried? You had a partner this whole time? That's not fair. I want to get remarried too. I want to fix our relationship and get married again. You still haven't given up on my brother? Of course not. I did love him. Sure, I did something stupid and cheated on him, but he is the one I love. Please, Miley, help us out. Help us get back together. Sorry, Amy, but I don't think I could let my brother marry a bitter woman like you, so I can't help you out here. But divorced women are bitter and have such negative energy. All the negative energy might spread around, and I don't want that to happen. Weren't you the one who said something like that? So, listening to your words, I will not approve of you being with my brother. So it'd be better if you understood your place and left my brother alone. Forever. If you love him that much, then you could do that, right? I mean, you wouldn't want your negative energy to spread to your beloved, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making fun of you being divorced. I didn't think about how you felt and said all those horrible things to you. You're a bit too late to apologize. Your divorce, your infidelity being revealed, it's all karma just getting back at you for your actions. If you have time to apologize like that, then maybe you should use it to rethink your life choices. Amy had to pay for the wedding venue cancellation fees along with alimony. My brother, who didn't know that she was making fun of the fact that I was a divorced woman, told me that he was glad he ended things with her quickly. Once Amy's friends, who were also divorced, heard about what happened to her, they all immediately returned the favor of cruel words she had once said to them. And they all eventually cut ties with her, claiming that her negative energy would spread to them. As for my ex-husband, he did send multiple messages about how sorry he was, but after I sent him a picture of how happy my current husband looked at our wedding, the messages stopped. A picture of someone's happiness is an effective thing, I learned. Angela, I called your university to ask for them to withdraw your acceptance to the school. After you graduate from high school, you are tasked with finding a job. You asked them to do what? Why did you let me go to great lengths to pass the exam only for you to take it away from me in the end? You said you would let me go to college if I passed the exam for Princeton. I didn't think you'd be able to pass the exam. That's why I suggested a high-level place like Princeton, so that way you'd lose interest in trying for college. I honestly have no intention of letting you go to college, so I had them withdraw your acceptance. You liar! Why would you let me go through all of this if you had no intention of letting me go in the first place? Who's going to support the finances of this family? Just when I thought that I could finally relax a bit since you'd be helping out, you selfishly decided to apply to college. Are you trying to run away from me? You are an important asset to supporting the family. This is a household of a single mother since your father passed away from a car accident. I can't pay for your tuition on my own when I could barely even make enough to support us through these years. That's why I've been working part-time as much as I can while going to school. I chose to live my entire high school life making sure not to cost us as much as possible. I'm going to borrow a scholarship at university or just go through student loans. I'm not trying to burden you. Shut up! Why are you so insistent on going? All you're gonna do there is drink and play around. I won't allow you to have fun. If I have to suffer, then so do you. I didn't even want to work in the first place, which is why I got married to your father, who ran a small company. And yet, next thing I know, I've gone from being a full-time housewife to living a poor life working to support me and my 2 daughters. I don't want to work anymore. I've been working hard on my own all my life as a single mother. It's time for me to live freely. So, regardless of whether it's fair or not, you don't have time to go to college. After graduating from high school, start working right away and support your sister and me. What? That isn't fair. Katie is still a junior high school student. She still needs a lot of money for her tuition. I want to let her go to my favorite high school and college, and for that to happen, you have to do your best. You'll be paying for all her school tuition. What? Hold on. Katie is allowed to go to any high school and university of her choice, but I was told that I could only go to a public high school, and even though I passed the exam for Princeton, university was canceled. That's because Katie is cute. Unlike you, she's special. Worth putting in the effort and money. Well, your money, at least. Unlike me, what are you trying to say? You look just like your father, so much it's rather annoying. When he was alive, I loved him because of the money he had, but now it's all gone. I hate your father who died and left me, and I hate the daughter who looks like him as well. That's why you hated me? I knew that you treated only me like this, but I never thought that was the reason. That's completely unreasonable. I can't help that I was born with his likeness. Compared to you, Katie looked just like me when I was her age. She's such an angel. A cute child like her should be able to marry a rich man and live happily. So, for that to happen, she needs a chance to get to meet and know these rich people. Which is where you come in. She needs to go to the best high school and the best college, which you will be paying for. I have to pay for all that? I want to go to college too. I want a successful life too. But now I have to let go of those dreams and put up with working so that my little sister can have a better life, all because you don't want to work? Katie is your cute little sister, right? A big sister should try their hardest to support their younger sister. So with that being said, stop talking and hurry up and find a job. Stop moping over your false hope. College isn't something you deserve to go to. It wasn't false for me. You told me that you won't accept any less than Princeton, so I tried my hardest to get in. I studied for ages for this moment, only for you to completely disregard it? This is all way too cruel. The cruel one is you. You don't care about your parents' feelings at all. Normally, people don't tell their parents that they're going to pursue college. They tell their parents that they would like to work to help them out. And yet here you are being ungrateful and not wanting to return the favor of me taking care of you. Go look for a job, you ungrateful child. Hey sis, did you see the picture? That high-brand bag looks amazing, doesn't it? I bought it using the bonus I got during the summer. Of course I saw it. It's amazing that you could afford to buy such expensive items. That's because, unlike you, I'm a highly educated college graduate. Are you jealous? A high school graduate like you wouldn't be able to afford something like this, right? Why would you say something like that to me? High school graduates barely get paid to survive, right? I heard from Mom, but apparently you only make an average of $30K a year? You've been working since you graduated high school, and yet you can only make that much money? I pity people with low educational backgrounds. Any effort you put in won't help if you don't at least graduate from college like I did. You've really got some nerve to say those kinds of things to me, Katie. Why don't you just hurry up and find someone to marry? A high school graduate barely making ends meet and completely single? I would rather die than be known as that. If you don't hurry up and marry someone while you're still young, then nobody is going to want you at all. Thanks for your concern, but I'm about to get married to the person I was dating soon. So no need to worry about my future. What did you say? I said that I'm getting married soon. So I'm going to use this as an opportunity to move out of the house as well. You graduated college and are now working to a point where you can look after yourself, plus Mom still works part-time. So even if I'm not here, you guys can somehow manage to live on your own, right? I didn't know that you had a boyfriend, sis, but I bet he's as much of a low-level human as you are. I mean, who else would want to get married to someone who only graduated high school? Not really. Unlike me, he managed to go into college and graduate. We were classmates in high school and were supposed to go to the same college, but I was the only one who wasn't able to go to college, so we became estranged. Luckily for me, we managed to meet again as adults and then started dating again. Went to the same university as you were supposed to. Does that mean he graduated from Princeton? Yeah, he and I were the only ones who got accepted. I wanted to enjoy my college life with him. What does he do now? If he graduated from somewhere like that, then he must be working for a nice company, like a foreign-affiliated financial company. He's just an ordinary doctor. His parents own a hospital, and he's eventually going to be the owner of that hospital as well. Is he that successful? Why would a person like that get married to a high school graduate like you? It's unfair for a high school graduate to get something this good. Educational background doesn't matter in marriage. And it shouldn't matter who I decide to marry. Anyway, I'll be moving out soon and won't be visiting the house very much after I get married, so please take care of Mom. Angela, give up on your marriage with your fiancé and give him to your sister instead. He is way too out of your league and you don't deserve him. He is better matched off with your sister. Mom, what kind of joke are you trying to pull here? I'm being serious. I'm sure your fiancé would like to marry a more attractive girl. Your sister is pretty and has a better educational background than you do. She's perfect for him. You should want your sister to be happy. You don't want me to be happy? I gave up on going to college to pay for her tuition fee, and next you want me to give up on my fiancé? Why would I have to go through all this just because I'm the older sibling? Shut up! A daughter should listen to what her mother says. I won't let you forget how I raised you. I also don't like how you plan to move out the moment you are set to get married. You need to keep working to take care of me. I've just quit my part-time job, but if you leave, then that was all for nothing. What do you mean you quit your job? Your sister finally graduated college and is now working. Until now, we've managed to do well with my part-time job and you working full-time, but I think it's about time that I get to be free. I figured that now was the perfect time to quit and live my life in peace. I'm thinking of living off of your salary, but you've decided to get married. You'll continue to work for your family. That's the eldest daughter's role. I won't let you off that easily. What do you think of me? I'm used to you treating me like trash because you think that Katie is prettier, but now you want to take away my happiness? I only really think of you as an ATM. I gave birth to you, and now you have to live your life working for my happiness. Oh, but if your fiancé marries your sister, then I guess we wouldn't need you anymore. Rather, you would just be a hindrance, so if you could leave the house, that'd be great. Treating me like an ATM and telling me to leave when you're done with me, it's too much. Shut up! You mean absolutely nothing to me. Introduce your fiancé to your little sister and don't show up in front of me again. Fine. Understood. You're no longer needed here. Now then, we need to get Katie to get married to him soon. I wonder how much money I could request out of him. You didn't let me finish. I will only comply with the part where you told me to no longer show my face to you ever again. I won't be handing my fiancé over to Katie. Why should I? What did you say to me? I'm done with you. I won't be showing my face to you ever again. Once I get married to him, I will be cutting all ties with you guys. Don't interfere with my life ever again. What's wrong with you? You have some nerve yelling like that. You are going to go against your mother's orders. Hand him over to her. You guys aren't a good match. A low-income person like you who gets married to a doctor would only end up getting divorced.
You might be right. Angela is such a hard-working person unlike me. One day she might get tired of me and just want to end things.
Huh? Who are you?
Nice to meet you, Angela's mother. I'm the man she's going to marry, Harry.
You're the doctor she's going to marry?
Sorry that this is how we first encounter each other. Angela mentioned that there's no reason for us to ever meet.
Oh my, sorry for my rude daughter. Compared to her little sister Katie is a very hard-working girl. She should be a good match for someone of your class, Harry. She's cute, went to college, and above all, young. If you ever meet her, I'm sure you'd be interested in her. Forget about Angela and meet with her instead.
I've met her before. My friends and I were so appalled by her rude behavior.
What are you talking about? She's so cute, and I'm proud of her.
I was forced to participate in a speed dating event, and I did tell Angela about this. I had Katie as my partner. She was certainly cute and young. She was very popular with the male members in the early stages. But the marriage appeal was just too much, and the men quickly distanced themselves from her.
What's wrong with that? That's where you go to find a future marriage partner, right?
Slight marriage talk is fine, but her demands of what her life should be were, way too much. She wants to live in a luxury apartment, wants to ride in this luxury car, and wants at least $10,000 a month for an allowance? If you talk about your desire to get married like that, it's only natural for men to lose interest. I may have been a little mean in response to that. I had asked her in exchange for fulfilling all those wants, what can you do for your husband? I asked her if she'd be good at being a perfect housewife, but her answer was horrible.
Horrible answer? What could she have possibly said?
She claimed that she didn't want to do such troublesome things, so that it would be good to have 2 children and let the older one do everything. Not surprising that after all that, all the men and women distanced themselves from her. Your daughter, however, didn't notice the change and was curious why everyone was acting differently and claimed that her household was like that.
Oh my, how strange for her to say such things. I don't know what to say. I'm not a mother who forces everything on Angela.
You do, though. By the time she was 12, you forced most of the housework onto her. She used to complain to me a lot when we studied together. She had a part-time job and was in charge of all the housework at home. So if I don't sacrifice my sleep, I won't be able to find time to study.
Well, you see, that's because...
After we get married, I want you guys to see her again. I want her to end her life by sacrificing herself for others. I want her to have fun. So with that in mind, starting today, she'll be cutting off all ties with you guys. Please contact me if you want anything you would like to talk to her about.
Help me, sis. Mom keeps saying all these weird things. She said that I have to send her $10,000 a month. You can do that, right? You graduated from college and got into a good company, so you can afford it since you managed to buy a high-brand bag. Sure, I work at a better company than you do, but I still get paid a minimum amount as well. Sending Mom money when I already have to pay my rent and other bills will barely leave me with anything left. Oh, really? A high school graduate like you wouldn't understand. Just because I graduated college doesn't mean I get paid super well. You say that, but you do have a tendency to show off not only your designer bags, but earrings and other expensive items as well. I sacrificed my groceries to buy those. I would just go to speed dating events and have the men buy dinner, and I would just spend the money I would use to buy food for those brand items. That is a bit of an extreme way to go about things, Katie. But these days, for some reason, all the men I eat with keep leaving. Even when I ask for a present, they won't buy any at all, so I can't send money to Mom. Help us out, sis. I don't need to do anything. I'm married now, and I've already decided not to go back home. You're married already? You're in charge of taking care of Mom now. She was cold to me, but in return, she was very kind to you, so think of it as a way to repay her kindness and support her. What? I can't do that. Please, sis, don't leave me. Katie kept ignoring her mother's demand to send money, and her mother, who had reached her limit of her patience, rushed into her workplace, yelling about how she raised her and yet she can't even take care of her mother. She eventually got dragged away by security. However, Katie couldn't handle the embarrassment she faced at her workplace, so she resigned. She eventually moved back in with Mom and tried to sell off her brand items. However, it was discovered that they were all counterfeits. I heard that the two of them were so shocked to hear that they wouldn't be given any money for those items that they passed out on the spot.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.